Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and welcome back to the channel. So we're just a few days out from Title Update 6 and Episode 2, which drops on next Tuesday, so October 15th. And one aspect of the update that hasn't necessarily been overlooked, but has definitely been lost amongst the vast changes that are coming with the update is builds, and more specifically, talent stacking. So basically how it works now in Title Update 5, if you look at I have my raid/PvE build on here, you'll see that the most important thing to get is to roll hard hitting on pretty much all the pieces that you can. To get hard hitting now is 10% damage to elites, and I have that everywhere except my gloves where I have compensated. But that's pretty much the meta now for PvE, is to get hard hitting everywhere that you can. But what's going to happen in Title Update 6 is that they're buffing all of the passive talents. So you can see, if I go to my chess piece, Unbreakable has the little arrow in it, in the circle there, and that means that it's what I call an active talent, so you can't stack those, but the ones with the open circle, like hard hitting there, you can stack those. So right now it's 10%, and I have that on 5 pieces of my gear, so that means I'm getting 50% damage to elites from my gear. But now in Title Update 6, you will no longer be able to stack any passive talents. So hard hitting, what else we got? Vital, hardened, none of that stuff can be stacked anymore, but they're all going to be buffed up. So right now hard hitting is 10, it's going to be 25 in Title Update 6. And if we go to my backpack, hardened is 10%, it's going to be 20% in Title Update 6. So those things are getting buffed up, but it means that you cannot stack them anymore. So we have to find out some new ways to build to make both PvP and PvE builds the most potent that they can be. So if I go to my loadouts here, I have a Title Update 6 PvE build saved for what I want to do when the update comes out. So if we take a look at that, now what you're going to want to do is get each of the most powerful passive talents in every slot that you can, so that you're getting the most utilization of all the talents that are out there. So on my mask, I have Empowered, which is getting buffed to 20% skill power, I think, so that's going to be good. We're keeping hard hitting for now on the chest piece, so that'll give me the 25%. Devastating is going up to 10% weapon damage, so I have that on my holster. Surge on the knee pads might be staying at 20, or maybe it's going up to 25, but got Surge, that's an important one. For now, I'm keeping Compensated, that's going down to 10%, what's nice about Compensated now is that since you can't stack Devastating on the holster and the glove, Compensated is basically, if you want that extra 10% damage that you would get from Devastating, you just put Compensated on there, and that's for if you have under 3 red. So I like what they did Compensated, I don't mind that they nerfed it. So we got that there, and then of course Hardened on the backpack, which is going up to 20%. So that's how I'm going to be building now in Title Update 6, and I'm sure everyone else will too, is that now you want to have the most wide variety of talents so that you get the most benefit possible. So some tips for what you can do until Tuesday when the update drops. I'll put back on my Title Update 5 PvE build here, is that what you're going to want to do is try and save up some pieces that you maybe get that you think, oh, well, if I could swap the attributes on this would be very good to use on my build. So for example, this backpack I'm going to use in my PvP build next update, and what I want is the new talent Spark. So this one isn't a perfect example because I want Spark instead of Skilled, but I also want to have a red, so I would probably roll the Skill Haste for a red, because if you didn't know, they're making it in Title Update 6 so that you can now do cross-attribute recalibrating, so you can swap a yellow to a red to a blue, any of that stuff you can now do. So on this one, I could say, oh, well, this would be very good if I had a red roll instead of the skill haste. Well, then just keep this until Tuesday, and then you'll be able to do just that. And you also want to plan out your builds. So I'd say before now, maybe just create a little list of the gear pieces you want to get and the builds you want to make, so that on Tuesday, when that update drops and you get through the 2 main missions, which is the whole content, you get done with those in 2 hours. So then what you're going to want to do is utilize the new targeting loot feature, which means that every main mission and zone and dark zone in the map are each going to have a specific either brand or gear type or weapon type. And so that means you can go and do activities and kill bosses in those specific areas, and you'll get some sort of targeted loot. So for example, this is an Alps backpack. Say that the DCD headquarters main mission, say that that's targeted for Alps gear. So it means when you go in there, any boss you kill in that mission is guaranteed to drop a piece of Alps. So that doesn't mean you're 100% going to get the piece of gear that you want right away, but it means that you can severely narrow down what you want and how you can get it. So maybe I'll get gloves for the first boss and knee pads on the second boss. You're like, oh, I really want to get this backpack. And then on the third boss, maybe he drops that, or you'll also get targeted loot from just completing the mission. So completing any activity or killing any boss in the place where it's targeted, you're guaranteed to get some sort of drop in that field. So that's a very good thing. Another thing you can do before Tuesday is save up your materials so that when you have all those pieces that you're ready to roll on Tuesday, and when you get those targeted loot, you're able to roll it right away. I only have 83 electronics I got to save up, and my titanium as well. So if you save all that up, then it's going to be easier to acquire materials in the next update. But if you have it now, it just makes it that much easier on you on Tuesday, so you can spend more time doing what you want to be doing. And the last thing you can do is just kind of read over the patch notes for the both PTS 1 and 2, so you can kind of get an idea. If you don't entirely know all the changes that are going in, you can kind of brainstorm what's going to be good now with the meta changes and all that kind of stuff. Like for me, for example, I'm not going to show it yet, but I have my Title Update 6 PvP build saved down there, and I'm super excited for it because, especially now that they've showed the new specialization, the Technician, I think that this build that I'm planning is going to have a ton of synergy, and it's going to be super potent in PvP. So if it performs as well as I think it will, then I will for sure make a build video on that probably a little later next week. So this is going to be my last video before the update rolls out. I've got some stuff going on this weekend, but then Tuesday is when it drops, and I am fully ready to just grind out and get all the builds that I want to and get some good PvP going with the new conflict changes and the Dark Zone kind of better in the server performance and all that kind of stuff. I'm ready for it. So my question to you guys is, what kind of videos do you want when the update drops? My current plan is to either record a conflict game, which is both the new mode on the new map, but if I can't get that because it's still going to be the voting system, I might have to do a separate one of the mode on one map and just playing the new map in maybe Skirmish or Domination. So that's my current plan. That's the video I want to focus on when the update comes out. But if you guys want something different than that, definitely let me know in the comments. Or if you like that idea, let me know that too. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like if this helped you out in any way. And now we can all eagerly wait for Tuesday together. Until then, guys, RogueGold, out.